好家伙，這對玩遍了全球100多個國家的頂流老外旅行家，來中國旅遊一趟，竟然被掛在100米深的廢棄礦坑懸崖上，嚇得慘叫連連，差點當場尿褲子。咱就是说，西方人眼裡那個落後、刻板的東方古國，在這對硬核博主的鏡頭下，直接變成了一個充滿賽博朋克黑科技和基建狂魔奇觀的異世界。今天咱們就跟着這群老外的第一視角，去看看他們是如何在中國被驚掉下巴的。大家好，我是小薇，歡迎大家觀看今天的節目。今天咱們的主角可不簡單，他們是來自美國田納西州的頂流旅行博主 Kara 和 Nate。這倆人有多猛呢？2016年，他們一時興起，決定休假1年去旅行，順手建了個 YouTube 頻道。結果萬萬沒想到，1年變成了4年，到2019年底，他們已經打卡了人生中的第100個國家。後來因為疫情，他們又買改裝露營車環遊了美國2年。可以說，這世界上什麼大風大浪，什麼頂級美景，他們沒見過。但是，當他們踏上中國的土地，開啟這趟橫跨上海、江西、湖南，尋找中國最不可思議的5個地方之旅時，他們那見過大世面的下巴硬是好幾次掉在了地上，撿不起來。準備好了嗎？咱們直接發車。老外的中國行第一站定在了上海。你以為他們要去外灘看東方明珠，格局小了。Nate 直接把隊伍帶到了地下88米深的地方。
Start the trip, we are in Shanghai at the world's first and only 5-star underground hotel. We are currently 300 feet below ground in an abandoned rock quarry.
沒錯，這就是大名鼎鼎的上海佘山世貿洲際酒店，大家習慣叫它深坑酒店。在這裡，小薇得給大家科普一下，這地方可是公認的世界建築奇蹟。你敢信嗎？這裡原本是個廢棄的採石大坑，荒廢了多年，生態破敗的不成樣子。結果咱們中國的設計師一反建房向上修建的常規，耗時整整12年，順着岩壁硬生生往地下建造，最深抵達地表下88米。整座酒店只有2層露出地面，其餘樓層全都修建在深坑之內，甚至還有2層坐落於水面之下。昔日滿目瘡痍的礦山大坑，經過生態改造華麗蛻變，這波操作直接把老外看懵了。Nate 為了給老婆 Kara 一個驚喜，特意訂了最底層的水下套房。
Living in an aquarium.
I genuinely thought it was a projector.
Charlie, you're here. We're here. We can basically touch while we're sleeping.
You should put your heads up this end, surely.
That's pretty good.
It's less of an underwater room and more of an aquarium room.
沒有對比就沒有傷害。老外平時在歐美住個帶浴缸的酒店就覺得是奢華了，這直接和鯊魚海龜睡在一起，簡直是安全感與夢幻感雙重拉滿。不過最讓他們震撼的是晚上的崖壁光影燈光秀。
On the cliffs surrounding the hotel.
This is way more impressive than I thought it was going to be.
This is unreal.
My mind is blown.
So the
老外們看着漫天飛舞的激光和水幕，直接原地飛升，直呼這票價物超所值。第二天，Nate 決定給有恐高症的兄弟 Charlie 來點中國震撼，也就是咱們片頭看到的那個深坑懸崖秋千。看着 Charlie 在空中像個破布娃娃一樣慘叫， Kara 笑得比誰都大聲。結果下一秒，他自己上場的時候就來了一個倒掛金鐘。
Might never travel with us again.
There she goes!
1, 2, 3.
I think Kara screamed louder than Charlie. This is one of those things that when I'm booking it sounds like a good idea until I have to do it.
I would go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, I had no idea you were gonna hang.
體驗完深坑酒店，他們給出了中肯的評價。Kara 給了5分，覺得水下房間有點像地牢且太貴，而 Nate 給了6分。雖然分數不算極高，但這個將廢棄礦坑變廢為寶的中國智慧，已經給他們留下了深深的烙印。告別了上海，他們坐上了中國的高鐵，一路向南，來到了江西上饒的望仙谷。 當 Nate 第一次在網上看到這裡的照片時，他還以為是 AI 生成的假圖。
So we've just made our way down about 1,000 stairs, and I believe we are now officially in the village. When I first saw this place, I thought it was AI. Then when I learned it was real, I thought it was like an ancient town in China. But after more research, I learned that it used to be an old mining town, and then they put $350 million into basically building like a Disneyland version of an ancient town in China. And even though it kind of looks like it's been here forever, it just opened in 2020.
It's like they've created the most photogenic village you could ever picture.
I'm pretty sure the reason they redid this town was to increase tourism, and I think they achieved that goal.
It's basically like a town built for people who want beautiful Instagram photos. As long as you have Photoshop to take out all the other people.
老外在视頻裡說這是中國版的迪斯尼古鎮，咱就是說，這絕對是因為他們不懂咱們中國的仙俠文化。這哪裡是什麼迪斯尼古鎮，這分明就是現實版的修仙秘境，東方仙俠世界照進現實了，好吧？說起望仙谷，經常刷短視頻的朋友肯定不陌生，但很多老外，甚至很多中國人都不知道，如今這個宛如仙俠秘境的地方，曾經也是一處荒廢多年的花崗岩採石場。過去這裡山體裸露，碎石遍地，生態被嚴重破壞。後來經過10多年的生態治理和匠心打造，才徹底褪去破敗模樣，蛻變成如今山水相依的絕美山谷。這裡最標誌性的就是那獨樹一幟的懸崖吊腳樓，整片幹派木質古建緊緊鑲嵌在100米絕壁之上，懸空而立，依山傍水。當他們推開懸崖民宿的房門時，被徹底震驚了。
Explore, but before we do, let me give you a quick room tour. In summary, it's perfect, but here is our living room. It's massive. All the amenities are included.
Sounds so hard.
不僅住宿條件奢華到離譜，望仙谷的煙火氣更是把這幾個老外迷得神魂顛倒。白天的望仙谷清幽靜謐，到了晚上，那才叫真正的顏值巔峰。夜幕降臨，整片懸崖樓宇燈火璀璨，暖光倒映在溪水中，山間薄霧升騰，仙氣飄飄。老外看着覺得這是中國版迪士尼，但咱們中國人一看就知道，這氛圍感直接拉滿，感覺下一秒就會有御劍飛行的修真者從懸崖閣樓裡飛出來，妥妥的仙俠劇世外仙谷啊！他們一頭扎進了小吃街，開啟了瘋狂的吃貨模式。從玉米芝士包子到300年歷史的傳統梅花糕，再到街頭鐵板煎餅，物價低到讓他們震驚，樣樣只要1-2塊美金。不過真正的挑戰是那碗黑乎乎的東方生化武器臭豆腐。
I did that and just That's your problem. This is cruel.
Yeah, save a little bit for it. Oh, there we go.
It was an accident.
Wow, she went for it. Charlie, you want another piece?
I'm only eating the chilies now. All the chilies were left in my mouth.
看着 Kara 被辣得眼淚汪汪， Nate 在一旁笑得像個反派。吃飽喝足，他們決定體驗一把純正的中國非遺文化採耳，這可是個技術活，老外哪見過這陣仗。當採耳師傅帶着頭燈，拿着那些奇奇怪怪的金屬工具靠近時， Nate 的表情簡直比上刑還精彩。
Oh, what? I think I need to relax and enjoy this. Whoa.
旁邊的 Charlie 倒是享受地閉上了眼睛。最後採耳師傅告訴大家 Charlie 的耳朵最髒，惹得大家哄堂大笑。這群老外在望仙谷不僅體驗了扎染、摔碗酒，還深深感受到了中國景區的成熟與完善。
And we got to smash some rice wine cups for good luck and a fresh start.
A little bit of. All right, that's delicious.
That was.
雖然 Nate 吐槽這裡人多得像中國版迪士尼，但他們最終還是給出了9分和9.5分的超高評價。如果說望仙谷是仙俠夢，那下一站張家界就是妥妥的科幻大片了。
And this is the location that inspired the floating mountains in Avatar.
張家界的美，全世界都知道，但張家界的山有多難爬，去過的人也都知道。為了對付這些台階， Nate 居然在景區門口租了3套機械外骨骼。好家伙，直接在自然奇觀裡上演賽博朋克，太牛掰了！穿上這玩意兒，爬山就像開了掛，走起路來健步如飛。不過當他們來到百龍天梯面前時，這群老外的下巴再次離家出走了。
That's amazing.
How they attach this elevator to the wall?
That was not a.
老外們根本無法理解， 中國人是怎麼在懸崖峭壁上建起這麼一座宏偉的電梯的。更讓他們覺得離譜到不敢信的是，在海拔這麼高的國家公園山頂，居然有一家麥當勞。在歐美的國家公園，別說電梯和麥當勞了，連個像樣的廁所都難找。這種將極致自然風光與頂級便利基建完美結合的模式，直接刷新了他們的認知。下山時，他們乘坐了長達 7.2 公里的高山索道， Kara 甚至還在纜車上擼到了一只中國遊客的泰迪狗。雖然 Nate 覺得張家界的大巴車太多，排隊太長，給出了 7.5 分，但他也不得不承認，這裡的風景絕對是世界頂級的。從張家界驅車1個半小時，他們來到了湖南湘西的芙蓉鎮。此時的 Kara 因為連日奔波感冒了，但芙蓉鎮的絕美夜景硬是把他從病榻上拉了起来。芙蓉鎮原本叫王村，擁有2000多年的歷史，是土家族土司的重鎮。後來因為劉曉慶主演的電影《芙蓉鎮》在這裡取景爆火，才改了名字。這裡最大的看點就是一條大瀑布直接從古鎮中間穿過，土家族吊腳樓沿着瀑布兩側的懸崖修建，一半古鎮，一半飛瀑。
We gotta go quick.
I was really excited about this trail that takes you behind the falls, but I didn't realize how wet it was going to be.
We just gotta go fast through this first part.
Fast.
夜幕降臨，暖光點亮了吊腳樓，瀑布水霧繚繞，氛圍感直接拉滿。他們選了一家正對瀑布的景觀餐廳，景色是10分滿分，但食物嘛。
I thought this was chili, and this does not taste sweet and sour at all, so I thought I'd spice it up a bit, so I shook it in there, and I just poured out 5 toothpicks in my soup.
Do you have a differing opinion?
Oh, this is like the most average soup I've ever had. Use 10 of 10, food 2 of 10.
哈哈哈哈！把牙签筒當成胡椒罐 ，Nate 這波操作也是沒誰了。雖然飯沒吃好，但當他們晚上泡在民宿的露天溫泉裡，看着遠處燈火輝煌的瀑布古鎮時，他們覺得一切都值了。他們將張家界和芙蓉鎮的行程結合起來，給出了9分的高分，強烈建議所有來中國的外國人都來這條線走一走。行程的最後一站，他們回到了上海。Nate 神神秘秘地把 Kara 帶到了一個地方，說這是中國目前在網上最火的體驗。結果 Kara 走進去一看，直接瘋狂了。
I don't even know where to start. Let's just say it's even better than I imagined. This place is nuts. It's huge, first of all. Everyone's just so chill. And you can just do whatever you want. Like, it's like there's no rules. And they gave me these really cute jammies, so everyone's matching. Then they led me over to this beautiful...
沒錯，這就是極具中國特色的豪華24小時水療洗浴中心。老外哪見過這種陣仗啊？在他們的認知裡 ，SPA 就是按個摩就走人的地方。結果在這裡不僅有無限量的哈根達斯、高檔水果、進口飲料，還有休息大廳、電影院、電競房。Kara 徹底放飛自我，還給自己安排了一個東方神秘刑罰刮痧加拔罐。
Oh my gosh. Does it still look like that?
Yeah.
Did you know?
No.
Did they whip you? I don't think that's good.
看着 Nate 那張驚恐的臉，我隔着屏幕都笑出了聲。啪啪打臉了吧？你以為這是受刑？其實 Kara 覺得舒服得不得了。而 Nate 自己呢，在體驗了恆溫泳池、高科技桑拿房以及吃了一頓包含帝王蟹、三文魚的超級豪華自助餐後，也徹底淪陷了。
Are the most over-the-top buffet I've ever been to in my life, and we have stayed at a lot of nice hotels.
當得知在裡面待了整整12個小時，連吃帶喝帶按摩，人均只要170美金，約合1000多人民幣時，這對環球旅行家直呼物價低到震驚，性價比簡直瘋了。這要是放在美國，沒個700-800美金根本下不來。在視頻的最後，穿着酒店浴袍的兩人躺在床上，對着鏡頭做出了總結。
Where we travel to so many places and we rank each place that we go to. So I feel like we just need a bit of like a conclusion.
China is awesome. That's my conclusion.
Here's what I would say. I don't think anything on our list earned a 10 out of 10 because I don't think any singular thing is worth flying to China for. I would say like everything we've done, if you include it all in one trip, it's like a 12 out of 10.
Yes.
If you're using this video to plan your trip, fly into Shanghai.
看到這裡，小薇真的覺得無比自豪。就像網友 NickB8A 在評論區說的那樣，我來自美國，去過中國大概13次以上。我說中國是個非常棒的旅遊勝地時，人們總是不相信。是啊，太多的西方媒體給中國蒙上了一層灰色的濾鏡，導致很多外國人對中國的印象還停留在幾十年前。 但只要他們親自踏上這片土地，去看看深坑酒店的建築奇蹟，去感受望仙谷那遇見飛行般的仙俠浪漫，去體驗張家界的外骨骼黑科技，甚至只是去上海的洗浴中心搓個澡，那些刻板印象就會被瞬間擊碎。正如另一位網友 MapFly868 的絕妙評論，我去中國待了3個星期，然後身體飛回了家，之後大概3個月，我的靈魂又回到了我的身體裡。中國的魅力不僅在於基建的震撼，更在於那種古老與現代交織、煙火氣與賽博朋克並存的獨特靈魂。好了，本期節目就到這裡。如果你覺得節目做得還不錯，看着老外被咱們大中國震撼覺得挺爽，那請你給我的視頻點個讚支持一下吧，謝謝您的支持。訂閱我，我們一起期待下一期精彩內容吧，拜拜。